The world watched in stunned silence. It was a moment that would be etched in history, a moment that no one saw coming. The air was thick with disbelief, and the collective gasp of millions could almost be heard echoing across the globe. On January 6, 2025, a day that began like any other, the religious landscape experienced a seismic shift. The news was barely believable as it flashed across screens worldwide. Pope Francis had resigned. The announcement was so unexpected that it took a few moments for the gravity of the situation to sink in. After nearly 12 years at the helm of the Catholic Church, the beloved pontiff announced his decision during a Sunday Angelus address. His words were measured, his tone somber as he spoke to the faithful gathered below. His voice, usually strong and vibrant, was a mere whisper, heavy with emotion. The weight of his words was palpable, and the crowd listened in rapt silence, hanging on to every syllable. The burdens of the papacy, the years of tireless reform, had taken their toll. The once energetic and dynamic leader now appeared frail and weary, the weight of his office etched into his face. Citing his advancing age and declining health, Francis declared his intention to retire to a life of quiet prayer and reflection. He spoke of the need for the Church to have a leader with the strength and vigor to face the challenges of the modern world. The news reverberated through St. Peter's Square. The faithful who had come to hear a routine address were now grappling with the reality of a future without the man who had been their spiritual guide for over a decade. A collective gasp, followed by murmurs of disbelief, then a wave of hushed whispers rippled through the stunned crowd. The shock was universal, transcending borders and languages. The world held its breath. The resignation of a pope is a rare event, one that sends ripples through the very fabric of the Church and its followers. The Catholic Church, a beacon of tradition and stability for 2 millennia, was entering uncharted territory. The resignation of a pope is not just a change in leadership. It is a moment that challenges the very continuity and stability of the institution. For only the second time in modern history, a pope had voluntarily relinquished the throne of St. Peter. The last time this happened was in 2013, when Pope Benedict XVI stepped down, citing similar reasons of age and health. This unexpected resignation marked the end of an era defined by Francis's radical humility, his unwavering commitment to social justice, and his call for a more merciful and inclusive Church. His papacy was a beacon of hope for many, a symbol of the Church's potential to evolve and adapt. His papacy, though often met with resistance from within the Church's more conservative factions, had ignited a spark of hope for many, a hope that the Church could indeed evolve, could indeed become a true reflection of Christ's love for all. As the world grappled with the news, the legacy of Pope Francis began to take shape. A legacy that would be remembered for its compassion, its courage, and its unwavering faith in the power of love and mercy. Speculation ran rampant. Why now? What had prompted this sudden and unexpected decision? Some whispered of internal pressures, of the growing resistance from conservative cardinals unhappy with Francis's reforms. Others spoke of his frail health, the visible toll that years of relentless service had taken on the 88-year-old pontiff. The halls of the Vatican, usually buzzing with quiet industriousness, were now alive with hushed conversations and furtive glances. The weight of the impending conclave, the secret election that would determine the next successor to St. Peter, hung heavy in the air. Cardinals from around the world, each a prince of the Church, began to converge on Rome, their every word and gesture scrutinized for clues to the future direction of the Catholic Church. As the world held its breath, one name began to surface with increasing frequency. Whispered in hushed tones in the corridors of the Vatican, debated with a mix of hope and apprehension in Catholic households across the globe, Cardinal Luis Tagle. The Archbishop Emeritus of Manila, Cardinal Tagle, was no stranger to the global stage. His eloquence and humility had earned him a reputation as a compassionate leader. His appointment to the prestigious position of Prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples in 2019 by Pope Francis had signaled a clear shift in the Church's priorities. a renewed focus on the developing world and the peripheries of society. This role placed him at the heart of the Church's mission to reach out to those often overlooked. Ordained a priest in 1982, he served as a parish priest in his native Cavite, tending to the spiritual and material needs of his flock with a humility and compassion that would define his ministry. His intellectual prowess led him to pursue further studies in Rome, where he earned a doctorate in theology from the Pontifical Gregorian University. His dissertation, a study of the evolving understanding of episcopal collegiality in the teachings of the Second Vatican Council, showcased his keen theological mind and his deep understanding of the complexities of church governance. As Archbishop of Manila from 2011 to 2019, Cardinal Tagle captured the hearts and minds of Filipinos and Catholics worldwide. His charisma, empathy, and unwavering commitment to social justice made him a beloved leader. His presence was not just felt in grand cathedrals, but also in the narrow alleys and crowded streets of Manila. He was a beacon of hope and a symbol of resilience for many. Leading a sprawling archdiocese of over 3 million Catholics, Tagle faced daunting challenges: poverty, inequality, corruption, and natural disasters. Yet he faced them all with a smile and a song, often breaking into impromptu renditions of Filipino love songs during his homilies, much to the delight of his congregation. His voice, filled with warmth and sincerity, had a way of touching hearts. As the world watches, Cardinal Tagle's potential leadership brings both excitement and a sense of hope. He envisions a church that is more inclusive, compassionate, and engaged with the modern world. His leadership, if chosen, would mark a continuation of the legacy of Pope Francis, a church that embraces change while holding firm to its core values of love, service, and faith. The journey ahead will be filled with challenges. The Catholics. Church stands at a crossroads, facing the modern world's complexities. But with leaders like Cardinal Tagle, there is hope for a future that embraces faith, unity, and the unwavering belief in the transformative power of love and mercy.